advances in science and technology have a continuous impact on our daily lives and have the potential to significantly improve the lives and livelihoods of people in both developing and developed countries. With over 1 billion people living in poverty, the majority of whom are women and children, the role of science and technology in improving a country's quality of life, as well as its socio-economic and environmental situation, has become critical. Increasing women's participation, input, and access to science and technology is critical for reducing poverty, creating job opportunities, and increasing agricultural and industrial productivity. Women constitute a sizable proportion of any nation's human resource base, constituting a pool of talent for science, technology, and innovation. However, women are frequently left out of or underrepresented in science and technology policy. While many women have successful and rewarding careers in various fields of science and technology, much more progress is needed. There is still a severe lack of researchers and women scientists in top management positions around the world. If the advancement of science and technology continues at its current rate, it will be necessary to significantly increase the number of people dedicated to research, both men and women. For a long time, the world has witnessed the exclusion of women from science. Eventually, the gender issue in science and technology was widely discussed, and the entry of women into science and technology began. However, women's participation in science is still below expectations. Despite the fact that the gender gap in science and technology has narrowed over time, men continue to outperform women in scientific experiments and achievements. Gender inequality in science and technology can be reduced through proper monitoring, education, and the creation of necessary work conditions. Gender equality and equal working conditions for men and women are essential for any normal society to function. And resolving gender inequality in science and technology may strengthen socio-scientific development.
Development is a process that creates growth, progress, positive change, or the addition of physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic components. Demographics are the characteristics of a population that have been categorized by distinct criteria such as age, income, and gender. According to the World Development Report in 2012, gender is defined as socially constructed norms and ideologies which determine the behavior, actions, expressions, and identities of men and women. Gender is an important consideration in development. It is a way of looking at how social norms and power structures influence the lives and opportunities available to different groups of men and women. Globally, men outnumbered women in the world of science. This is due to the fact that women are less likely than men to receive basic education and to be appointed to scientific and technological discoveries both nationally and internationally. Historically, there has been an apparent gender imbalance in science and technology because these fields were perceived as male domains. Hence, the history of science is often depicted as the history of great men. Men are frequently favored more than women because society regards them as more rational and logical beings. Women, on the other hand, are frequently concealed and underrepresented due to their link with interpersonal skills and their metaphorical association with weakness and powerless. These cultural gender bias and stereotypes are the primary cause of gender disparities in the field of science and technologies. Since scientific and technological change is shaped and structured according to societal norms and relations, which are in turn influenced by scientific and technological transformations, cultural inclusion and exclusion influences gendered patterns of participation in scientific research and technological innovations. The access to and distribution of resources, one's capacity for decision-making, and one's ability to contribute to the advancement of science and technology are all partly determined by the power dynamics underlying gender relations. Although there is a gender divide in science and technology, gender diversity has been thought to have the potential to spur scientific and technological breakthrough.
As the world continuously changes and develops, many advanced technologies are emerging as a result of extensive scientific research. This leads to an accelerating demand for experts that deeply understands concepts in science and mechanisms of technology. Unfortunately, as these skills become more essential today, the existing gender disparities in these fields prevent this demand from being met. A large pool of potential skills that could have contributed to science and technology remains unexplored and undiscovered. Therefore, it is critical that gender perspectives are taken into account in creating S&T policies and programs. In the Philippines, various actions have been taken in order to increase the participation of women in the field. In the national context, our country is one of the 189 members of Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. It is an international treaty adopted by the United Nations in 1987 that aims to assert the right of women to employment, promotion, job security, and all other benefits. The following laws are also implemented to facilitate the growth of science and technology fields in the Philippines. Republic Act 2067 or the Science Act of 1958, RA 7687 or the Scholarship Act of 1994, RA 10612 or the Fast Track S&T Scholarship Act of 2013, and the RA 8439 or the Magna Carta for scientists, engineers, researchers, and other S&T personnel in the government of 1997. Meanwhile, at the regional level, local communities are taking initiatives in ensuring women's equal access to resources and education related to S&T, such as allowing and motivating them to pursue courses in the STEM field. Empowering women in STEM is a crucial step to advance gender equality and hopefully bridge the gender gap. In 2015, the International Day of Women and Girls in Science was declared by United Nations to be on February 11. Since then, the day has been observed annually in an effort to engage women and further achieve gender equality in the field.
Limited conceptions of gender are frequently used when talking about gender in science, technology, and innovation, whether or not through a historical lens. The word gender is frequently used to refer to female or women when discussing the gender dimension in science, as it is in many other fields. Learning about men and masculinities as well as women and femininities is necessary to comprehend the gender dimension. The gender binary affects men and boys just as much as it does women and girls. In comparison to the practice and investigation of science, the notion that men are gendered has received far less research. Gender equality is a widely held ideology that seeks to promote the equality of different genders in all aspects of our community. The issue of gender inequality from the ancient community to modern times is the reason why this campaign has become a highlight all over the world. Equality is essential for a harmonious and peaceful community. Perhaps this is why different people with different gender identities shine in their specialized fields. However, despite the positive equality campaign, many issues have been raised. According to studies, women are underrepresented in many sectors of our community. One of these is the belief that women are weak and incapable of leading a country like men. Despite recent progress, achieving gender equality in scientific research remains a significant challenge for policymakers and the scientific community as a whole. Throughout history, women have produced important scientific advancements, but even today, there is a gender gap in science and technology. Simultaneously, a significant portion of attention is also increasingly being paid to how gender and science relate to potential future trends and opportunities. In the area of gender and science, there are many problems, from productions of STEM job shortages or even the need for significantly fewer people in these fields, to technological scenario development, to reimagining the shifting relations between gender and science, whether gender neutral or gendered or sexed in new ways. The research landscape and scientific policy agenda are all challenged by these incidents. Women's advancement in academic research at all levels has become a priority in the science agendas of many national and international political institutions. The study conducted by UNESCO, a part of UN Women, aims to provide a relevance in the position of access and participation of women and girls in education, training, science, and technology, including for the promotion of women's equal access to full employment and decent work. Encompasses a different framework to prove a deeper analysis of empowering women in science and technology. This includes the platform that calls on participants to support gender-sensitive and women-centered health research, technology, and treatment, and to link traditional and combined with modern medicine, as well as to develop centers for education, research, and resources that spread environmentally sound technologies to women. This study stated its purpose doesn't exhibit the idea of gender equality. As the issue pops up that women have less ability treatment in society than men, it is not guaranteed that all communities in the world have the same culture. It is recommended to the study to make an equal approach to all gender. The position taken here is to provide equal opportunity to all genders, particularly those who are not accepted. Gender inequality is a disease in people's minds, particularly in the scientific community, because it discourages the brightest minds and the most talented skills from being discovered.